communication. Now, I don't think this is an old speech of Jonathan. I think it's a Jung speech. Because bad jokes. We all stand. This is what Jonathan's given me. We all stand on the shoulders of great thinkers that have passed before us. Carl Jung was active in the early 1900s and developed a significant body of work in the psychology space. One of his most famous theories was about the collective unconsciousness. This speech is an overview of the theory. The goal of the speech is to describe Jung's interesting and powerful concept. And to do that, we have Jonathan.
Toastmasters, most welcome guests. So at the heart of Jung's collective unconsciousness theory, he divides the mind into three areas, if you will. Our conscious mind, our personal subconscious mind or unconsciousness, and our collective unconsciousness. So our personal unconsciousness is things that perhaps we had a trauma when we were a young child, or perhaps we just had an event or our upbringing or so forth and we're not aware of it. Those are things that are particular to us. Our collective unconsciousness is the topic of this speech, and he says that there are things in our collective unconsciousness that we don't know about, yet it's there for everybody, all across the world, every country, every human in the world, as a constant going back for thousands of years. Now, those things are archetypes and they're instincts, and I'm going to get into that shortly. But for now, I'd like to start with some type of your help with the audience interacting with me. So I want you to consider a parent coddling a child, and what kind of virtues do you think a parent has? Warmth. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Compassion. Patience. Sure. Okay. So we'll go with those. Now let's do another one. Consider an old man kind of walking along to a cane and kind of struggling along. What kind of virtues, good things, can we say about someone, like an old man kind of figure? Wisdom. That's actually the one I was hoping for. Well done. Thank you. And the last one that I have is, imagine a hero in a movie. So Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, or perhaps the Three Musketeers, and on guard, and I'm fighting away, valiant. So what? And some other ones, perhaps. Bravery, sure. So those virtues that we discussed, why did they come to your mind? Now I'm going to put it out there that the initial response for you might be A, because of personal experiences that you've had with similar type of people, your life observations, perhaps books you've read, social conditioning, but that's not what Jung's theory says. He says the reasons why those things you named resonate so much with the whole room is because of instincts that we have at a psychic level inside our mind in the collective unconsciousness. So essentially, archetypes are instincts at what are called psychic instincts, and psychic meaning at a mental level in your brain, that represent exactly as instincts, and the reason why they're grouped together with a person representing it, so it's more tangible, and so it means something more for you. Why have these instincts? Why should we have instincts? Well, apparently, according to Jung's book, they kick in at different points and times of your life. When you become a parent, somehow, according to Jung, you just know. You just know what to do. Some of it, well, that's what that's. That's what it. That's some level of instinctual knowledge. And likewise, there's times when you're required to be a hero, to stick up for yourself, stick up for loved ones, stick up for people in the workplace, and you just know how to be a hero. You didn't read a book on it, you didn't study it, you didn't think about it before, and your instincts just kick in because you have this archetypal image in your head of what of what a hero looks like. So different points in time, these archetypes just come up to help you. And even during the most extreme example was that during end of life, you have an archetype that even guides you through that process. How do you come up with this theory? Two ways. One, by interviewing hundreds of clients, patients, and listening to dream analysis. So consistently in the dreams with these particular archetypes or characters kept coming to the forefold, and he found it too much of a coincidence to be anything other than at an instinct level. It was just too much how often these things kept coming forward. The other reason why was folk tales. If you look through folk tales in Europe, North America, Central America, there's common constructs through all of them. There can be a wise old man. There can be a nurturing parent. There can be the hero. And there can also be one other figure which we haven't discussed, which is the shadow, which is sort of like the person who represents the dark side within all of us that we try to avoid being, sort of like the Hyde within Jekyll and Hyde. So it kept on coming up in that literature, and that's one of the reasons how he actually justifies it. So if you buy his book, a large part of the book is actually reading through different folk tales where he reinforces this. Sometimes the archetypes can become corrupted, and you could have a negative type of a version of that archetype. And if you pay $400 an hour to a Jungian psychologist, they can help you work through that. So, the other thing that such a psychologist would help you do is to bring into the conscious part of your mind all the unconscious. So to bring in what's in your personal unconscious and make it conscious, to bring in the collective unconscious and make it conscious, and then you achieve something called individuation. And you can help the individuation process or bring things from your unconscious to conscious by creating something called mandalas. I'm going to pass out these, so there's some time on time, but we'll see if we can get this through. You can take that and just pass it around. So you can sit there, people in Eastern religions will sit there in the temple and with red chalk kind of make these kind of complicated circles and patterns in a meditative trance, and they're working on kind of bringing forth their subconscious mind to their conscious mind. He says that when he worked with clients and helped them to have this realization, in the middle of the night they'll just wake up and have this image in front of them of one of these mandalas, and they would write it down the next day. That's Jung in a nutshell, his collective unconscious theory, the archetypes and how they are essentially instincts that exist in the mind that are there to guide you at different points in time in your life. So in the past I've covered say Augustine's theory on time. I'll conclude by saying that next year you can look forward to doing chaos theory. That's what he explained by writing down. So
Thank you, Jonathan.